Hello, all. Adrian here, and I got a couple of emails. I've received several emails from customers about how Groundhogg is going to include AI usage in some sort of meaningful way. I've got questions about like email generation and flow generation and model context protocol and all of that stuff is very exciting. And I've done some research in the last like week, essentially, sort of just understanding all of it. We were certainly have not been a first mover in implementing AI in any meaningful way. WordPress itself, like because WordPress or Groundhogg is a WordPress first product, we've kind of been like laying back, focusing on core functionality and letting sort of like the other people who are smarter than we are basically figure out how WordPress and AI are going to like come together and get some standards going, get some formality going, because if we're like a first mover, we're just going to end up redoing it all later. That being said, I've been doing some experiments as far as content generation goes. Like sometimes like we're just not feeling very creative and you kind of want to spit out like an email. Now, this is like this is not anywhere close to being out in the public anytime soon, but I have managed to get OpenAI, because Lord knows that I am not going to train my own LLM to generate content for Groundhogg, because that's ridiculous. But I have been able to get OpenAI through their developer platform to generate relatively consistent email design. They're bad designs, but it is at least returning something that the Groundhogg email editor can understand, and that's a win. And so I'm just going to show that to you so you can kind of see like some cool stuff that might be coming down in the pipeline. These are just experiments at this point in time, so please don't come at me and be like, when is this being released? Because the short end of the answer is I have no idea. It's just, these are just experiments at this stage, but they're cool experiments nonetheless. So I'm just going to show you sort of what we have so far. So I'm in my like add email editor area, and next to all of the buttons, which you're already familiar with, there is this new AI button. It might be there. It might not be there in the next release. Who knows? I don't. But essentially we have some things that we can tell OpenAI, which is basically just ChatGPT, what we want essentially from this email. So we can give it a topic, and that topic might be something like an email to get someone to restore their cart after abandoning it. We can select a tone that we want. So we've got happy, silly, goofy, formal, casual, personal, serious, grave, etc. And these are like tones that I literally just plugged into ChatGPT. I'm like, hey, listen, give me some tones that someone might want to describe an email that we're feeding back to you to generate. Literally, we did this in like the laziest way possible. And we asked ChatGPT what it wants from us in order to sort of develop or write an email to some sort of like reasonable degree. So there's that as well. We select what kind of design we want, like simple for like maybe text, flashy, corporate, minimal, playful, e-commerce. We'll select e-commerce, which I actually don't know. That tells the AI something. If someone asked me, like, I want an e-commerce email design, I'd be like, what? But AI somehow knows what that means, and so now power to it. And then we can tell it if we want like specific blocks to use, because like if we don't do that, it kind of just like gives us like the super duper basics. So if we want something like a little bit more thought, then we tell it to include the extra stuff. So like if we want a button in there, so maybe the button is like our CTA. We want an image in there, maybe our social links, and then we can add any additional context that we might want. So like we'll give them a discount code of 10% off if they order in the next 30 days. Okay? And then we hit generate, and then that's going to go off to like an API that we've created in the background, which is again not public ready at this point in time, but it's going to take probably anywhere from 30 to 40 seconds, and hopefully it's going to come back with an email, which will probably not look very good, but gives us hope. And here it is. Don't leave your cart behind is the subject line it decided to come up with. And then it says, hey, first, and it uses the correct Groundhogg replacement codes because we gave it a file. It's like, use these and nothing else, because sometimes it just hallucinates and makes stuff up. There's an image here, and it just puts in a placeholder right now. Your cart awaits. As a little incentive, here's a 10% discount code, and then a button that links to the Restore My Cart. And then you would put in your Restore Cart link there. Yeah. It's got the social links there. You can put in your links. It selects a theme as well as the image. It puts in the footer block. Not a particularly beautiful email to look at. Right? It's very, very, very bare bones. So why don't we let's try something else. Let's see if we can get something else to work. So we'll add new. We'll click our AI button, and it's worth noting that like what we haven't done is we haven't just like come up with like several different email templates and then ask it to purely just generate the content that goes in those templates. Like it's like generating all of the blocks along with like the settings and the colors and everything, the font choices for the blocks. Like it's deciding all of that. Like some email generators that's like they come up with like maybe like a couple hundred like set templates, and then it just randomly chooses one and then injects content into that. It's deciding on the design of the email, which is cool. It's just that AI is a terrible web designer. It's a great copywriter. I mean, great in quotation marks, like, but because it can write stuff. It doesn't appear to be visually inclined to produce what I would perceive as an enjoyable email to look at. But I digress. There's early days still. So what else can we tell it to do? Right. Or a simple, not a simple, because we can define that. A welcome email that introduces a new subscriber to our website. And we're going to let AI decide exactly what that means. Maybe we can tell it in context, include some optional next steps and things to do on the site as some additional context. Maybe we'll have it use columns, social links, posts, buttons. We're going to give it a playful design and a personal sort of tone. So like, again, AI knows what that means. Me, not so much, but whatever. Click generate and we'll see what happens. So it's going to take another 30 to 40 seconds and we're going to see what it comes up with. It's been very fun. AI is an interesting beast to work with. It took a lot of time to get to this point, and just I haven't even closed the little like title pop up yet. I don't know if the time is worth it. Yeah, okay, all right. So, well, Comic Sans seems to be the choice that it made. Which is interesting. I don't even know if that's a web-safe font, to be honest. Is that even a font that I don't know? Like, cause sometimes it hallucinates stuff. So I give it a list of fonts. It's like, hey, use these web-safe fonts. Then sometimes it just like doesn't. Is that even like a font that is supported? No, it's not. So it just like made that up essentially. So that's fun. because that's not actually an available font. So it definitely just like hard coded that into the text. So that like would not work in an email editor. So yeah, so early days. And then it just kind of stuck the posts block randomly, and then it stuck like the socials block like halfway through the email, rather than like at the bottom where you'd normally expect it to be. Explore now. Yeah, it's like check out our latest posts and updates, and then yeah. So early days. Now we see why like a lot of people just opted to do content generation rather than like full like design generation, because it just doesn't really know what to do. We haven't given it like, so here's the thing, like we can tell it like the block schema and like the setting schema and all that stuff, but like it doesn't have enough training data yet to be informed about what good email design looks like. And so that's probably the next step, is like fine tuning a model with like, as many email templates as we can gather to be like, here's what design looks like, or here's what like design options are available to you. But that takes time and money, so we'll see. Anyway, it's exciting. If you have any suggestions or knowledge on sort of the AI content generation topic, I'd love for you to reach out and let me know what knowledge you have, and maybe if you have suggestions on how to get this to perform at a higher level. I'm open. We'll see. Like, I don't know, but it's fun. It's exciting, and we'll see where this takes us.